So I thought we were just getting a normal patch, but it turns out in Dune Awakening, the deep desert changes are live on live. And we got a public test client announcement, which I thought was a good idea to test this stuff first, but apparently that stuff's live right now. So these are the features and changes that are in 1.1.0.17. The PvE area has been adjusted. Yeah, so the changes that we were previewed upon from the creative director letter and the subsequent public test patch has hit live. This means that players that have no interest in PvP should be able to find what they want without engaging in PvP. Imperial testing stations, caves, and so forth found in the area are now PvE. Control points and shipwrecks will, however, continue to be PvP throughout the entire map, which means that you'll find localized pockets of PvP and PvE sections still, similar to how shipwrecks and PvP in Haga Basin. To retain the risk-reward setup for the deep desert, the density of resources increases the further north you go. This includes high-density clusters of valuable resources. Okay. That's what they're going to do. So the resources are going to be more plentiful further north. So they're going to be sparse in the PvE area. The largest spice fields will also spawn north. Okay, so that's where the spice harvesters will be. That makes sense. And the majority of control points will exist in the northern part. Okay, so the only thing they're keeping south are these control points and shipwrecks and the testing stations. So it seems like an extension of Haga Basin. It looks like a big extension of Haga Basin. Because these things that they're talking about here are all in Haga Basin. Except for the control points. I think that's the only unique thing that's not in Haga Basin right now. As part of these changes, we made some balance change in Deep Desert. The lower half now offers PvE loot that is balanced towards shared loot. Okay, so it's shared. And PvE activities. You may find better loot in more dangerous PvP area located further north. So the loot's not going to be that good. We're going to test that this morning. In the PvE area, for example, each player gets their own loot and can expect to receive one schematic. In the PvP, loot is distributed on first come, first served basis. With higher quantities of everything, players can expect 2 to 6 schematics there, which are among the rarest. Class steel plates can only be found in PvP zones. Okay. The amount of active medium spice fields has been reduced from 8 to 5. In the PvE zone, I'm assuming. The number of active small spice fields has been increased from 20 to 22. I guess that's the whole deep desert. The spawn rate of titanium and stravidium has been reduced in the PvE area so that large quantities only spawn in the far out PvP areas. Okay. The number of nodes in the resource hotspots of PvE part have been reduced. The respawn time has been increased from 30 to 45 minutes. Okay. So it's an extension of Haga Basin with some sprinkles of some of the new mats. This is going to be interesting how this turns out. Because normally, I would just go, like in the current system, I would just fly around until I find stuff, PvP or not. But now you're going to want to go straight to the PvP zone if you want to get this stuff. Because I think these nodes are going to be highly contested. And at 45-minute respawn, there's a chance you're not going to see any. Given how big the deep desert is, there's a high chance you're not going to see any with a 45-minute respawn time. If you play for 3 hours, there is a really high chance you won't see any. The Imperial testing stations are still in the PvP region, and players who want all schematics available each week will want to visit both PvP and PvE. Keep in mind that the loot rotates each week. Oh, good idea. So even if you're not interested in PvP, you can obtain it at a later date if you're not able to trade it or buy it off the exchange. Okay, we have begun work on the outline changes for the Scout. So the reductions for the Scout seem to be in. Info cards now reflect the change. Exiting ornithopters midair will now cause them to drop straight down instead of gliding away. This should decrease the chance that you lose your ornithopter upon disconnecting from the game or exiting by accident. I think Vizal had this problem. Known issue. There's an edge case if your vehicle ends up in quicksand. You might not be able to interact with it if you are in quicksand. The workaround is to get on top of the vehicle and interact with it. This will be fixed in the very next patch. Visiting. We remove restrictions when visiting other sieges. Before this change, players had their home seats and could visit other seats in the world, but couldn't claim land. Now any player can go to any seat. So these are like the same patch notes from before. The latest NVIDIA driver has been added to the driver check. Player reporting. Yeah, so this is mostly everything they said they were going to add. That's in. So we're going to be trying it out, checking it out, let you guys know what we think. I'm kind of surprised that it hit live. I thought the whole reason for the public test client was to test this stuff. I guess we're going to do it live. We're going to test it live. I'll see you in the desert.